The police need to conduct an autopsy to discover, the cause of death. I think from his skeletal remains, I think they can be able to do something. There's something that at least they can do to be able to figure out how he died, And there's a cover up here. That's clear, it's strange that somebody died for over a year, and nobody perceived any order. That's strange. So it shows that there's a foul play. As far as I can say, there's a foul play, and that's the job of the police to unravel. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. Welcome you once again on Trending Stories. What a wonderful morning here. What a wonderful week. Thank God for keeping us alive this week. All right. There was a report a few days ago about one Ayubako Esere whose decomposed body was found in his toilet, in his apartment. And this guy, who is in mid-40s, was said to have been missing since November 2023 and was found on January 22nd, 2025. That's roughly about 15 months. His decomposing body was found in his toilet. His skeleton was in his toilet. And this was ridiculous. How somebody got missing for over 15 months and nobody knew that he was dead in his apartment. And according to report, this guy is a single guy living alone in his apartment that was jointly built by him and his other brother. And it was said that the other brother was living in the other part of the apartment while he's living in the other side of the apartment. And he got missing since November 2023. And according to eyewitnesses, they said that his brother, kind of threw them off balance, that they were not thinking that something may have happened to him in his apartment. So they were busy looking for him elsewhere without checking in his apartment to know what is going on. All right. So this guy was said to be, Mr. Esere was said to be a devoted member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And the neighbors thought, as usual, that he has gone or embarked on his normal spiritual activities, like going to pilgrimage, going for crusade, and stuff like that. But the report we got indicated that he is not a pastor, but an employee in the oil and gas sector. So Mr. Esere, unfortunately, passed away. But a strange thing happened, having been found decomposed up to the skeletal level in his toilet. There was no strange odor or smell perceived around his apartment, and this became strange to his neighbors. The neighbors did not perceive any decomposing odor, and you know that even in your own apartment, if a lizard, a rat, dies in your house, you're gonna perceive the odor. And so, but in this case, this guy's dead body, nobody perceived any odor. That's a red flag that probably a chemical was used to preserve the body from smelling. And that also fingers that this guy must have been killed by somebody. But that's for the police to unravel. However, if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel and also put on your notification so that when I drop any new video, you will be notified. Okay, before I go further to discuss the issues in this matter, let's take a look at this video so that all of us can be on the same page and then analyze what the neighbors and eyewitnesses have said. Let's take a look at this video. I'll be right back.
Contrary to reports, Ayubako Esere, who hailed from Neighbour local government area of Bayelsa State, worked in an oil and gas firm and was not a pastor. Childless, unmarried, and in his 40s, the devout member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God lived on a property he jointly developed with his elder brother, who also stayed in a separate apartment with his family and other tenants. Ayubako had disappeared around October 2023 and was not seen until January 22nd, 2025, where the police team forcibly opened his apartment to discover his fully decomposed remains in a singlet, a scenario which has raised a plethora of questions.
When I went, some other family members were there crying. So they took me to the toilet side, the toilet window, to peep. I saw skeleton. We have known, we could have opened that apartment at that time, but our younger brother, his immediate elder brother, Ekado Esere, told all of us, took all our minds out of the compound.
Somebody died in the house for about a year plus. There is no odor perceived anywhere. I have not seen it anywhere. Even rat died in your premises, you will perceive it. A grown-up old person, skeletally, when the police came and they saw it. I never see him in this world. The police should investigate and find out what is the cause of the death.
The brother of the deceased Ekado, Eseri, and his wife, who appear to be suspects in the case, have promptly been taken in for interrogation at the Yenagua Criminal Investigation Department, although the wife was released at the time of filing this report.
Police are on the matter. We cannot go beyond what the police is doing now. The police will come out with their investigation. Then we'll get the root of the matter. We found skeleton and there is no smell with him. Neighbors where their tenants are in the compound. The police will also meet the tenants, even those that are packed out before now. They should trace them.
For now, no official statement has been released, although the Commissioner of Police, Francis Idu, has visited the crime scene to get a first assessment of the incident. There are so many questions which have been left unanswered concerning this mysterious death, and it is the expectation at the end of investigations, all stories and all insinuations and all questions in the mind of everyone will be laid to rest.
All right, welcome back. From the video, you can see that this guy has been missing, for about 50 months, and nobody knew what really happened to him. But when the body was sighted from the toilet, the police came and were able to force the door open, and they saw that the guy has decomposed, and the skeletal system was there in the toilet. So for the past 15 months that this guy has been missing, he was dead in his apartment. And from all indication, this guy must have been murdered by somebody. And for the person to cover it up, probably he may have used some chemicals to preserve the body to decompose naturally without, any odor. Because if the neighbors have perceived any odor, I think they would have discovered this within the 3, 4, 5 days of his death. All right. Well, it means it's well orchestrated by somebody. Although we had a report that the police has, from the report, you can hear that the police, took his elder brother for questioning, and I think the wife also was taken, but has been released. But the guy, I think they are still, kind of holding him to find out what's going on in Bayelsa Police, station. So, as it is now, I think this is a kind of moral lesson. I think the police should dig deeper to find out if him and his elder brother are having issues concerning that property, because there must be a problem, that led to this attack. This guy didn't die naturally, so nobody can come and say, "Oh, he died of heart attack" or whatever. And the police need to conduct an autopsy to discover, the cause of death. I think from his skeletal remains, I think they can be able to do something. I don't know, but there's something that at least they can do to be able to figure out how he died. And there's a cover up here. That's clear. It's strange that somebody died for over a year. And nobody perceived any odor. That's strange. So it shows that there's a foul play. As far as I can say, there's a foul play. And that's the job of the police to unravel. Now, this brings me back, to highlight a lot of things from what just happened to, Mr. Sere. First, I think in Nigeria, as it were, we are very good at, checking up on our neighbors. So I wonder how this guy got missing for quite some time, and nobody knocked in his apartment. Nobody suggested, let's break the door and find out if everything is all right. He may have collapsed in his apartment. Something may have happened to him. He may have been there. This one we haven't seen him for months. And you know how things work, that if somebody gets missing after 24 hours, then you can report the matter to the police. If the matter was reported earlier, after 24 hours that he died, the police would have swung into action, and maybe they would have, forced his apartment open to check if they can figure out anything that can give them some clues, and maybe they would have found him as early as possible. At least would have been given a befitting burial, and they can be able to nab, the culprit, who may have by now, covered other tracks that may, link to them. Nobody knows. But this is a moral lesson that people should be able to check in on their neighbors, especially when you have not seen them for days, for weeks, and they didn't tell you they are traveling. Knock, check, peep, smell. Try to do one or two things to figure out that everything is okay. All right. So we should be our brother's neighbor. I know it's only in the diaspora that you can live with a neighbor for 5 years. You may not have even seen the neighbor face to face, or you may not have been talking together. That's abroad for you. But we're not talking of abroad. Because abroad, everybody minds their business. You may even go to check up on your neighbor. You may take offense. You may even, attack you. You may call police on you. And that's one of the reasons you see people, mind their business, stay in their apartment. When they see their neighbors at the lobby, they exchange pleasantries and things like that. But going in to check, except both of you have, kind of closer relationship. When they say when you go to Rome, do as the Romans do. All right. So, but when you have good relationship with neighbors in the diaspora, it's quite interesting. They check up on you. If there's anything, they signal in your apartment, they can call the 911 and all those kind of stuff. But back home, we are beyond that. We don't, do as they behave abroad. So Nigerians should be able to check up on their neighbors, especially these days that the economic situation is difficult, it's tough, it's hard on everyone. Check up on your neighbor. You don't know what's wrong with people. You don't know those that have mental health. You don't know those who are contemplating suicide and so on and so forth. So we should be able to check up on our neighbors. Knock, ask, hey, what up? Are you good? Are you okay? Is everything all right? How is work? These are the kind of things you try to build up, with your neighbors. So it's very, very important. I don't know, but I felt that how can the brother be living with his younger brother in the same building, but different apartment in the same building, and the guy got missing, and he was not able to open his door to check, what's up in his apartment. It's strange. It's strange. To be honest, that's quite a whole lot of question for the elder brother to answer. Because I remember, being in the diaspora, living with my brother in his apartment. This my room. The other side is his room. We walk in the same staircase. You come up, you go to room 1, room 2, room 3. Room 3 per se, facing adjacent to his own door. I recall there was a week we couldn't see. We didn't see for a week. We are in the same house, the same apartment. We couldn't see for a week. Why? I go to work in the morning, come back in the evening. He goes to work in the evening, come back early in the morning. By the time I'm leaving, he's sleeping. By the time I'm coming back from work, he has gone out. You see that? So this how. So one night I said, no, I can't be in the same apartment and I'm not seeing my brother. So what I did was I came back. I was awake till, because he normally comes by like 2:30 a.m. or 3 a.m. I was awake. I said I must see him that day. I was awake when he came back, opened the door and came upstairs. He met me in the living room and they said, are you still awake? I said, yeah. I said, I haven't seen you for days. And I said, I must see you today. So how are you doing? Are you okay? Is everything all right? And we had some chats and then I went back to sleep and woke up early in the morning to go to my work. That is what we are talking about. So I can't assume, oh, all is well with him and we're in the same apartment. I know his work schedule. No, at times you have to take things, beyond normal to be able to check up on people you have not seen. And I wonder, even the church members, he has friends in the church. Why? How come none of them has come to his house as the church normally do? We have house fellowships and stuff like that that keeps us together as a community. So I expected that even his fellowship members within that community, would have check up on him, since they said he's a devoted member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG. So, but other reports are saying that, oh, he's kind of an isolated person, doesn't mix up or mingle up too much with the community or participate, actively in community engagements and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe because of his work, because they said he works in the oil and gas sector, and you know how, their jobs can be. So I don't know, but I'm just trying to pick up the information that we already have in the clip and, be able to think deeper to bring up some salient issues, that can help people to, build that kind of neighborly relationship among themselves. All right. So I think there are so many lapses here. Checking up on your neighbor is key, especially these days. Anything can happen to anybody. People go to sleep and pass out. From there, people just be cooking and suddenly they just collapse. All right. So nobody knows. Well, people, because of the difficulties and situation or hardship, they contemplate to just commit suicide and just get out of this world. Nobody knows. So that's the reason we continue to check up on people. So many mental health issues here and there. Many people are on drugs, taking all kinds of hard drugs. Nobody knows they can take overdose. So we keep, trying to look out on these people, that's living around us. So for 15 months, this guy was dead, within that period of 15 months, and the body has even decomposed, telling you that it's been long he died. It's been long, he's died. That's awful. At least the only best thing to do to a dead person is to just give him a befitting burial. All right. But these guys, probably his skeleton will be packed together and then, buried. That's quite sad. That's quite humiliating. That's the way I feel about it. So I think we need to do more. We need to do more. Even in the diaspora, I think, building that relationship about neighbors need to be very, very, something that people need to, kind of work on. Yeah. I have, people around me here in my apartment, but we talk, we greet, we, do all that. But going into the apartment is a different issue altogether. But we have, cordial relationship, we chat, we speak, all those kind of stuff. We do that. So place of work, same thing. So it's quite sad. May the soul of Ayuba Kwesere, who has departed, rest in peace. Nobody knows the kind of gruesome, situation he went through before he died, before he passed on. Because I'm looking forward that the Nigerian police, in Bayelsa State should be able to figure out the cause of death and nab whoever is involved in this, because that's a cover-up. So that guy must have been murdered. There's nobody that died naturally without, smelling after some days or weeks, not to talk about decomposed and then no odor. That's strange, you know. And the way he was killed and dumped in the toilet there for him to, because so they conduct a lot of, tests and on him. They can be able to figure out what chemical was used, to kind of preserve the body from, assuming odors, around the vicinity. Because if not so, they would have detected it early enough, But it's so sad how people can be so wicked, to take the life of others. There's nothing going to tell me that guy did not die naturally. There was a foul play in his death, and that's what the police need to uncover. So Nigerians, watch your back, show brotherly love by checking up on your neighbors, especially when you have not seen them for days, for weeks. Even if the person traveled, you can alert the police. They can check. There's nothing wrong. If they break the door, they can fix it back. But at least to be sure that the person is okay. All right. So, but I'm not saying be nosy in people's activities. You know what I mean when I said when you can't see somebody, you haven't seen somebody for weeks, and his kind of job, he doesn't travel often and stuff like that. We can be able to check up on people. And again, in this current situation of things, please be your brother's keeper. Support those around you can support. All right, help those you can help, because we are really going through difficult times these days. So that's some other things I want to chip in. And then finally, I'm gonna urge the Nigerian police to do all they can, to be able to figure out the cause of death of this guy, and to be able to, get us the culprits if they confirm he was murdered, which I believe he is, and then let the Nigerian public know the outcome of the investigation concerning and surrounding his death. It's very, very vital. That's when the family can have closure. May God give the family of the deceased the fortitude to bear, the loss. And I think it's a sad news that was just broken to them. They may have thought the guy was kidnapped. They may have thought the guy was involved in an accident. They may have thought, there's many things that must have gone through the mind of, the family members. But when this disclosure, was made, it's gonna throw them off balance, because they never expected that this kind of things, gonna happen. And the brother, I don't know their relationship. I don't know the kind of relationship he has with the brother. So that's he gone missing for over 15 months. He never thought of breaking his door, checking into his apartment. I mean, it's strange, to be honest with you. That's strange. Whatever it is, the police is going to figure them out. And then we'll see how this case will be concluded. So, thank you for the neighbors who have shared their accounts, saying a lot of things. At least they too was, expressing their concern that this is strange to them. All right. So, but when the police conducts the investigation and come out with a report, we will know how the case, will end up. So before I go, kindly like and share this video to other people so that they will learn, from what happened, to others, so that they can improve their lives. And then subscribe to my channel and put up the notification so that once I release the next video, you will be among those that will be notified immediately, and you will catch up into what is trending. So I'm going to see you on my next video. Happy to have you on my channel. I appreciate your contribution. I appreciate what you do, going through this video and subscribing to my channel as well. I appreciate your comments. I will always be there to respond to every comment. So I'm going to see you in my next video. Don't go away. Keep checking up. More and more will be dropping. See you in my next video. I'm signing out.